Probably after a couple of activities, the girl fainted, and then the police just busted into his door, and it was just a matter of this guy wants to use this girl for rituals and yes, man, was poppity popping. We're reporting live from Lagos, Nigeria, West Africa, and this is
The
the
Big
Big Yanz
Yan
Podcast.
Podcast.
I go by the name Meishwa, and this is my amazing co-host for today.
Yo, what up, my peeps? I go by the name Reflex Empire Worldwide. You already know what it is.
Come on, where the fire extinguisher? Where the fire extinguisher? Hey, look, man. I hope you guys are ready. From the kitchen today, we have a very, very, very hot topic. And the title of the topic is Who I Carry. More talk
Exactly.
come together.
All right.
Who I
I carry.
carry is heavy,
Exactly.
is giving, is bigging, is yanning, is podcasting. Okay? Yeah. You're very much welcome to the Big Yanz podcast. And today we're going to be discussing who I carry. What do we mean when you say who I carry? Sometimes I feel like people shut out their inner voice and just like go, and their gut feeling, like they just let go for trivialities in terms of like, so in fact they do that to the extent where I start to ask myself, is lost the new GPS?
Yeah.
It can't be like say like lost, like in vernacular they could say na konji. It can't be like say konji na their Google map. Like na konji they direct you say now here you go now like this suppose see. This topic is very deep. It's gonna provoke a lot of feelings, a lot of thoughts, a lot of emotions, and I want you to buckle up because today we have a very, very extraordinary co-host on set. You see, Don Reflex right here. You hear the name now, Reflex back to back. Instantaneous. Taishe, you get what I'm saying. So Reflex,
Yeah.
you already know what we mean when we say who I carry. I want you to just first of all wet the ground, marinate us with your thoughts just generally, and then we could take it up from there.
Okay, everybody. Like you can see, and you also have ears to hear exactly what she's saying right here. So it's very
Yeah.
clean and very simple.
Yep.
So I think I should just hit the nail on the head,
Straight up.
like you said.
Yep.
Well, I've got a whole lot of stories to tell, you
Right.
know, concerning who I carry,
Jeez.
So
Okay.
it's a kind of crazy experience that I have been, wanting to air out in a very long time.
Hmm.
And I was hoping and wishing to have the opportunity to be in a channel's TV or probably a radio station where I could be able to air out my mind because a
Come on.
whole lot of crazy stuff is happening out there,
Yeah.
which I know people are scared of saying,
Yeah.
because I don't know how to put it. If a young man gets to make it tomorrow, people say it's
Hmm.
ritual. But you
Hmm.
and I know
Hmm.
that sometimes shit happens.
Hmm.
And that is why I would really like the Nigerian police service and the system to pay attention to um, some kind area when things
Yeah.
happen,
Yeah.
to do their investigation properly before taking a gentleman into the custody for
Right.
prisoning or sentencing the person to a jail or
Wow.
life sentence.
Wow.
So I think I have some experience, but I think we'll get back to you
Right.
shortly.
Right. So by what you just said, if I'm doubling up on that, you're let's break it down for the people. When we say who I carry, what we actually mean is who are you taking home with you? Do you actually know the condition of the individual you're taking to your house? Or that's just even speaking like lightly. It might not be your house, it might be a hotel, a motel, or it's just you guys just get in a room. You already
Sure,
know where I'm headed with this.
exactly.
For lustful activities, sexual activities. Sometimes people just feel like, okay, in the heat of the moment, you have lust taking over your system, and you just say, yo, this is the person I want to be with, and I want to get it done. I want to get down with this person, and you have no idea their health history, their sexual history,
Yeah,
their professional history, spiritual history, Physical history, you have no information, no data whatsoever on what this person is into, has been into, or is even still going to get into.
Sure.
And then you just find yourself getting mixed up in the whole course of the person's doings. It might leave you messed up, but then it'll be too late to cry because
Exactly.
you didn't take your time to find out. So I find that a guy actually told me a very interesting story, and he was like, he took a girl home, and they were supposed to kind of have sex later in the day, and probably after a couple of activities, the girl fainted, and then the police, the police just busted into his door, and it was just a matter of this guy wants to use this girl for rituals and blah 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 blah. But fortunately for him, the girl didn't pass away. She was admitted into the hospital. She got better, and thankfully, she was truthful enough to share her medical history with all and sundry. She told them that she's a sickle cell patient, and she's been having some anxiety problems lately, and sometimes when her body feels overwhelmed, she passes out and stuff like that. But the guy was literally petrified when he heard this, because she never mentioned this to him. At least if you tell somebody you're asthmatic, they know not to sweep dust around you,
Yeah.
type shit. So, but he had no idea what was going on, and that took him by surprise. And not every individual will open up and say they have a medical condition. What
Sure.
if that girl was not a truthful person? What if she was the one that likes to point fingers? And what if she kind of framed the guy up that he did something wrong to her? That could have happened. And
Exactly.
that's why you should ask yourself before you take somebody who
Um.
I carry. You need to ask yourself who I
Very
carry. It's a
sure.
very, very heavy topic. So, Reflex, do you have anything you want to add to that?
Yeah. Like she just said.
Yeah.
On a normal day, I would have said, I have a friend. Let me just put it this way. I have a
Right.
friend that, before he actually goes out with you, I think he normally likes asking the ladies, let's go out for a test, like to the hospital,
Hmm.
to run a background check on the lady he's about to pick up, for a date or something like that. But I kind of understand that most of our Nigerian girls, don't get me wrong, not all, I said
Right.
most of our
Right.
Nigerian girls,
Right.
they have the low esteem and a very poor mentality
Right.
of reasoning backward.
Right.
Like when you said, "Can we have a test? I
Right.
want to know your health status and stuff like that." They eventually take it all wrong. Like
Hmm.
you were trying to get something bad from them.
Right.
But I think in the other way around, you are trying to help them and also help yourself to avoid the kind of incident
Hmm.
that you never expected that will happen.
Right.
So I think it is nice and it's also advisable that you know the kind of people you are dealing with, and not everything on that scale you should pick home.
Sheesh.
You know,
It's funny that you touched on that aspect, because I was literally about to ask you, what do you think is the best way to ask a potential sexual partner to get tested without causing conflict? Because I don't know why people just take it the wrong way. Every time people feel like it's a personal attack.
yeah.
They feel like it's a personal attack. The moment you say, let's get tested, boom. It's like,
Okay.
do you think something is wrong with me? Do I not look all right? Or are you
Yeah.
saying I'm not up to your standard? But it's meant to be like a standard procedure.
Yeah.
Like generally, it's meant to be a standard procedure. I don't know. I have no idea why people get offended by that. So I don't know if there's a more polite way, a more polite way, a more subtle way to tell a potential sexual partner that it's for the best interest of both parties
Yeah.
to actually get tested before getting down.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes some people can actually be wrong with the way they go about the whole scenario, like asking a question.
Right.
But I think if you want to get it, make it juicy, I think there is a way you go about it by just being nice and romantic to the lady.
Ah ah.
And
Bad boy reflex. Come on.
yeah,
We
like
should we should definitely
awesome.
cheers to
All
that.
right,
Ah ah.
let's go.
Big Yanz. Come on. You don't know.
So
Yeah.
Back to the topic.
Yeah.
I think first off, you have to take the lady out,
Hmm.
or maybe it could be at home, it could be somewhere or
Okay.
thereabouts,
Okay.
and there should be a topic raised like, babe, if I'm about to spend the rest of my life with you,
Hmm.
I think we need to do a proper test
Right.
between the both of us to get to know each other's blood group, the genotype, and
Right.
all of the above.
Right.
So to avoid, we having to bring a child that is a sickle cell into the earth, so
Right.
that tomorrow the child doesn't suffer the pain that you people caused.
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
I know a couple of people that when you say, uh, I am AE and this person AX or SS or something like that, we can get married. People pick offense,
Right.
because like they said, double X can get married. People
Right.
pick offense. So I think it is best to go in a polite way, make it romantic and soft and juicy. By so doing, choose your intelligent.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Reflex, you spitting game. You spitting game.
Yeah,
That's some big yans. That's some big yans. Um, Once it comes to decisions that have to do with picking a sexual partner, I feel like it gets really tricky, especially for the younger people, because it's always just driven by so much heat in the moment.
yeah,
It blinds logic, you know. And I feel like it's worse to assume you know who a potential sexual partner is just by going with the vibes,
sure,
just by how their vibe appears to be, and then later being sorry. But then it's too late,
sure,
because in vernacular they'll say wait don't enter body had to come out,
sure,
you know. So I feel like we should really, really, really take responsibility for the people we get sexually active with, because it's not just about you. It's a vicious cycle in terms of when you get down with one person, if unfortunately you get affected, you'll get down with another person and it's spreading,
sure,
and that person gets down with another person and it's still spreading. So it's an unfortunate thing, and we need to see that one mistake causes, like, I mean, and I feel like stigmatization has a very unfortunate role that it plays in people picking offense when you say let's get tested, because we're in a judgmental society, and people feel that if one person hears that maybe they have an STD or an STI, other people are gonna hear and they'll kind of be, segregated. Like nobody wanna roll with them anymore. People avoid them. So I feel like actually maybe that's one of the reasons people frown
yeah,
at the suggestion of getting tested, because ordinarily it shouldn't upset you
sure,
when someone says let's get tested. Except maybe there's truly something to hide, you feel what I mean? Yeah. Except maybe there's something to hide, then yeah, you're trying to be defensive
sure,
and stuff. But then I've come to see, when I discuss with certain people, I've come to see that they've had bitter experiences where their medical records, one way or the other, gets exposed to maybe a third party, and that person, tells another person, and boom, in their community they're alienated.
exactly.
Yeah, and nobody wants to be left out, nobody wants to live a lonely life
Yeah.
type thing. So that's that. Back to the topic, who I carry. This is a very, very, very important one. Do you feel sex is just a physical activity, or you feel like it goes beyond the physical?
All right. So, for me,
Yeah.
I think, and I see the sex is more than being physical activities, because
Right.
this has to do with a blood to blood, a
Right.
skin to a skin.
Right.
It has to do with the communication.
Hmm.
If you give me the permission and the attention to be with you, then that simply means this had to do with a heart to heart situation. Because you can say, if it is just like a physical, something like a kind of ordinary stuff, it would have just been like, hi, hi, you are over there telling me, hi, I'm here. But this is something that we have to get closer. So I think it's more than just being a physical stuff.
Right. I definitely agree with you. I feel like sexual bonds go beyond the physical realm,
Yeah,
and I believe that I believe that bleach and omo no fit wash wash the remnants
Yeah,
of
sure.
your activities
Yeah,
off when you're done. You can't just take a bath and think like the essence of the sex you just had has left you. It's not possible. It's with you forever.
mm,
And this is why you need to ask yourself who I carry. Like
exactly.
I can't emphasize this enough. Like that question, who I carry, it is so heavy, and I don't want the ladies to feel like, oh, not be way did they follow talk, that the guys did they follow talk. You yourself, you know that you intentionally go and ask some guys or give them green lights.
Sure.
So in reality, now you they carry them. So you self ask yourself who you carry. Because now ladies will feeling chilly, they are gonna be chilled now. They were
Mm,
like, I beg who I carry. Now guys that they talk to. I'm on everybody that they talk to.
exactly.
If just that it happens to be more common with guys, but the ladies are also humans and they're not excluded.
Sure.
Because I know in society, females might not want to admit that they actually also maybe make the first move with guys and stuff like that, but it's happening.
Yeah, exactly.
It is happening. So at the end of the day, if you go make the first move to a guy and instigate that connection, and you carry him, but you
Exactly.
ask yourself who you carry before you go give him green light. Did you ask yourself? You need to ask yourself. You feel what I'm saying? Because I repeat, you cannot use soap and sponge to wash out the essence of your sexual activities. It is going down into the ground 6 feet with you, like till the end of time. So you need to understand who you're putting an imprint on and who you're allowing put an imprint on you.
Exactly.
You feel what I mean? Yeah. And then I believe that people just feel like I think they also don't really believe in the doctor patient confidentiality. That's actually a thing. You find people that I've met some people that just have phobia for their information being put on paper.
Yeah, you're right.
As long as their information on the maybe computer system or on paper, they just feel they are casted.
Exactly.
Sometimes I feel like it's too much FBI and CIA movies that's causing that's causing this kind of phobias. But
Exactly.
I mean, at the end of the day, you can't judge nobody because I don't know what they've been through in the past. Maybe unfortunately they've met an unprofessional medical practitioner that wasn't as careful with their records, and that might have cost them, a certain part of their lives, unfortunately. So I just want people to understand that there are ways around this, but the truth is you need to prioritize adequate knowledge of who your potential sexual partners are.
Yeah.
Now, I think you were telling me about the other individual that almost got arrested, and you said
Yeah.
the person had had like several experiences with like ladies coming to his house and they end up passing out, fainting, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, in that case now, believe it or not, there's already a form of community stigmatization on that guy,
Sure.
unfortunately.
Sure.
Because in vernacular, people will say, now only you go carry person, they go dey faint. What do they
Mm,
do there? Yeah, you go explain tire.
of
Like,
course. Of course.
what do they do them? They will say, what are you doing to these ladies? How are they
Yeah.
always passing out in your apartment? What do you say? You literally will not know what to say because you don't know anything about them now.
Exactly.
No, yeah, you can't even explain because you don't know. You didn't ask. You didn't find out. It's a whole lot of void there to fill. Lack of information just choke anyhow.
Sure.
So I feel like nah. I would say it's really serious because when it comes to the life of a human being, una kiri kiri o.
Exactly. You're right.
Like it might sound trivial right now, but it's like it has a lot of depth to it. If a human being should actually lose their lives and you're involved, your life is over. From what was supposed to be a fun night, then it now turns to an old life behind bars. Oh my days.
It's very bad.
Nah, you don't want that. I don't even wish that on anybody. This is why you need to ask yourself who I carry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we all need this reminder. I hope this pops up on your timeline and you see it and it reminds you to ask yourself who you carry. You feel what I'm saying? And also, I know a lot of people don't want to lose that potential sexual partner by upsetting them by asking them this kind of questions that guarantee safety.
Yeah,
But at the same time, you should try and study the personality of the person. Everybody has a way you should speak with them.
of course.
So try and study their personality and understand how best to, pass your message to them. Because sometimes some people feel they listen, but they not really they hear you
Exactly.
because you're not speaking their language.
So,
Yeah. If someone probably has a love language of gifts, provide something no matter how minute it is. Like Reflex suggested earlier, have a nice time out and discuss. So it's really obvious that it's not coming from a point of rejection.
yeah,
Instead, it's actually coming from a point of protection for
exactly.
both parties. Make sure you let them know that this is not you suspecting them of anything. This is not anybody putting ideas in their head. This is just what you do normally to protect yourself and that other individual. So please endeavor to ask who
Who
I
I carry.
carry. Again, who
Who I
I
carry.
carry. Yeah. And I'll very much say that sums it up for Big Yanz today. Yeah. Reflex,
Yeah,
thank you so much for coming on the show. I
you're
gotta
welcome.
raise a cup for you. This is a very insightful topic, if you know what I mean. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is the Big Ants podcast. You already know we already are into talking about what truly matters.
Exactly.
Yeah, man, it's all about reality because these topics that seem like they may be trivial or they may not be so significant are a very important part of our lives that maybe hustle every day, working every day makes us forget that these things actually matter. These things are still there. And as human beings having our minds preoccupied with so much activities, we need these tiny reminders,
Sure.
from small aspects of our life. You just need tiny reminders. It kind of puts us back on track.
Exactly.
That being said, remember to ask who you carry. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. Thank you for kicking it with us. I need you to, like, share, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's Big Yanz Podcast on YouTube and our social media platforms, baby. Big Yanz Podcast. It's always the Big Yanz Podcast. Yes, mer. Keep it luck, baby. Hit us up by the email bigyanspodcast@gmail.com. You feel what I'm saying? If this topic has sparked up some other idea in your head that you want us to discuss, hit us up via the email bigyanspodcast@gmail.com. Until the next episode, keep it locked, baby. It is the Big Yans
Gee.
Podcast.
I, I, I,